Welcome to InWork Global. Let's get one thing straight from day one. What we sell to our clients isn't AI. The market is flooded with people vibe coding their way through prompts. They generate thousands of lines of code they don't understand, toss it over the fence, and pray it works. That is a liability with a timer on it. What our clients actually buy from us is traceability. They buy a chain they can audit, a locked scope, a design they approved, code that traces back to both, tests that prove the code does what was promised, and a named human being who is accountable for every single line of it. This is InWork's foundational standard, AI first and human accountable. It is a binding operational reality, not a slogan. It means the AI writes the implementation by default, all of it. But a named human owns the outcome. That human must be able to explain the system, locate any failure, and fix it with the AI harness completely switched off. Approval and ownership are different things. Gates sign approval, but the human owner carries the system. Let's look at how you carry that system. To prevent chaos, we isolate responsibilities across 4 distinct Claude surfaces. Every surface has strict boundaries, and nothing crosses a surface boundary without a written artifact. Chat is scratched, files in the repository are truth. As a developer, you need to understand exactly who does what. First, Claude projects. This is the durable brain and the product owner's memory. It holds the master brief, decision rules, glossary, and business context. It is forbidden from ever building code. Second, Claude Cowork. This is our management office, PM, BA, SME, and manual QA. It owns the scope block, use cases, backlogs, the traceability matrix, and handover packs. It is strictly forbidden from writing production code. Third, Claude Design. This is the UI UX Design Studio. It outputs the design bundle. High fidelity screens, all component states, empty, loading, error, success, and interactive notes. It is forbidden from ever inventing scope. Fourth, Claude Code. This is your primary workspace as an engineer. Claude Code runs directly inside the local GIT repository using Model Opus Plan. It owns architecture plans, schemas, migrations, code implementation, and automated tests. But remember, its strict boundaries. Claude Code is structurally blocked from changing scope, skipping gates, or guessing on money. If you try to bypass these rails, the system will reject your work. We do not operate on hope. Training without certification is just a wish. Before you are allowed to run an agent surface on any client repository, you must hold the correct license in our team's central registry, registries.licenses.csv. Your license determines your exact boundary. Level 1 is the operator license. This authorizes you to run attended Claude sessions on internal work only. To earn it, you must pass the verification drill, catching a false claim planted inside a repository using only the file system and Git in under 5 minutes. Level 2 is the builder license, the baseline standard for our engineers. This authorizes you to drive attended feature loops on live client repositories. To get your L2, you must pass the witnessed AI off navigation drill. The AI off navigation drill is real. We drop you into a complex code base you have never seen before. There is no AI harness in the room. You have exactly 60 minutes witnessed by a team lead to locate a specific issue, explain why it broke, and demonstrate how to roll it back. Why do we do this? Because the fourth skill, the ability to judge whether what the AI generated is actually correct, cannot be offloaded. If you can't navigate code with the AI turned off, you cannot safely supervise it when it is turned on. Level 3 is the run commander. This license authorizes you to run unattended overnight batches under a strict time-gated run contract. If you're a junior, unattended runs are structurally blocked. If anyone runs an unattended session on client work without an active L3 Plus license, GateLint will block the package, and it is flagged as a severe process violation. Now, let's look at how work actually flows. We enforce a strict ID grammar across every single project. Every business requirement must trace all the way to a passing test. If a client messages you on WhatsApp or sends an email asking for a feature, do not write code. That message must be filed as a raw to trove document in docs requirements 00 raw within 24 hours. Raw is testimony. The register is the law. Next, the BA agent normalizes that raw evidence into a testable req requirement. That req is then mapped directly to a feature story in our traceability, our matrix.csv with a unique feature ID or FID. Every FID must map to a specific test ID or TID. Remember this rule: a feature without a matrix row does not exist. A matrix row without test IDs does not ship. This brings us to the core engineering discipline. TDD is the rule. No story can enter a sprint without explicit acceptance criteria. The automated tests must be written and failing before implementation starts. And here's the kicker: done in the PM tool is set automatically by the connector from CI evidence. A human is structurally blocked from dragging a card to done by hand. We do not tolerate status theater. If your tests don't pass in CI, the task stays open. Let's walk through your actual day-to-day workflow. When you start a new feature, you open Claude Code in plan mode inside your Git repository. You set your model to our model Opus Plan. This gives you deep Opus class reasoning for planning and Sonnet for rapid execution. Your first prompt is P07, the per feature loop prompt. Your feature loop is a strict 4-step process. 1, plan, review the features, FID, and acceptance criteria in the traceability matrix. 2, test first. Write the failing test for that feature first. Run it, verify that it fails, and make sure it carries a positive control, proving the test actually can fail. 3, implement. Write the code until the test turns green. 4, self-review. Independently verify that your code conforms to the signed design bundle in the repo. What happens if you find a bug in the database schema or the spec while building? The law is absolute. Kickback, don't work around. Never silently patch a defective upstream artifact in your own code. If the design is broken or the API contract is wrong, file an entry in docs kickback.md under kb.garx and stop. The upstream role must fix it and relock their artifact first. We keep builds coherent by driving defects up, never sideways. If you need to do quick and dirty exploration, you use spike mode. Spikes run as supervised AI-only sessions on a separate branch. But hear this: spike code is throwaway by contract. It is structurally blocked from ever merging to main. If spike code reaches your main branch, test first is dead, and you have treated our quality gates as decorative. Every rule in this method was paid for with a real production failure. 190.323. We didn't invent these in a meeting. We wrote them down after staying up all night fixing broken deploys. 190.323. These are our 6 unbreakable laws. 323. Memorize them. Law number 1, the producer law. 191.333. No producer verifies its own output at the layer it produced. 25.191. Design doesn't audit its own design conformance. 25.191. Developers cannot sign off on their own visual fidelity. 991. If you write a UI screen, someone who didn't build it must compare your built render to the approved design. 70.191. Law number 2, the structure law. 191.334. Discipline that matters must be structural, not intentional. 26.191. If a rule can be bypassed under pressure, a deadline will eventually bend it. 187.191. Our rules are programmatically enforced by pre-commit hooks, CI merge blocks, linters, schemas, and Git directory permissions, never left to memory. 26.191. Law number 3, the contract locality. Law 192.335. A contract the builder cannot see is not a contract, it is a wish. 27.192. Every design bundle, architecture pack, and schema signed at a gate must be physically committed into the active repository where the builder works, not left in an external cloud folder. 27.192. If the agent can't see it on disk, it can't build to it. 27. Law number 4, the gate scope law, 192, 336. A gate is evidence about the thing it asserts and about nothing else, 28, 1992. Just because a gate proves 9 screens are pixel identical to their mock-ups, it does not prove that their filters work or their live data is accurate, 28, 29. When you write a gate, you must document exactly what it does not prove and build additional gates to cover those holes, 28, 192. Law number 5, the honesty invariant, 29, 193. A missing record renders unknown or unverified, 29, 193. Never display a 0 or a dash for missing data, 29, 193. A 0 that means no data is a confident falsehood, 29, 193. It looks like an answer, which makes it far more dangerous than a blank, 29, 193. We enforce this with positive control invariant tests. Law number 6, the learning loop is a gate, 3193. Every deviation between what was specified and what was built must be filed in docs, kit, feedback.md in the very session it surfaces, never deferred to a retrospective, 3193. Lessons deferred arrive tidy, sterile, and stripped of the exact mechanisms that make them actionable, 3193. If you record 0 deviations on your project, you're either not looking or you aren't being honest, 3193. Finally, your code must stand up to the 2 a.m. test. Before a project can pass the HT4 handover gate, we seed a failure in the running system. The named human service owner must dry run and resolve the failure with the AI harness completely turned off. They must use only the operability pack committed to your repo, the runbook, the logging schema with propagated correlation IDs, tracing guides, and alert thresholds. If a human cannot trace, reproduce, and roll back a bug at 2 a.m. using your documentation alone, the gate stays locked and you do not ship. AI-first development isn't about working less. It's about engineering with a level of discipline the software industry has spent decades ignoring. It's about pride in your craft, complete traceability, and absolute human accountability. Print out your fieldcard.md, read your walkthrough, pass your drills. Let's build something we can actually stand behind. Welcome to the team. Let's get to work.